A decade after the Green Revolution, India was transformed into a vast monoculture of hybrid crops. Indigenous varieties were abandoned forever. When the chemical-soaked fields lost their vitality and the hybrid crops kept failing recurrently, farmers realized it was much too late to turn back to tradition. Most of the indigenous crops were lost, and the art of organic agriculture was almost forgotten. In the early 1990s, the Center for Indian Knowledge Systems had started a small but ambitious project to revive traditional organic agriculture in Tamil Nadu. To do this, they needed a vital element: the seeds of traditional crop varieties. Search for seeds was a long and frustrating one. Clues were nothing but anecdotes, some giving a vital break, others leading to dead ends. After 1 year, and a trail of many hundred miles that took them into the different states of South India, 8 varieties were found. Some were a handful of seeds, others a mere few grains. These precious seeds had to be propagated, and the rice varieties had to be revived. CIKS believed that the best approach was to entrust the seeds with interested farmers who would cultivate them year after year. If the farmers could be taught to use locally available resources to achieve this, they could not only gain a livelihood but also enjoy food security for a lifetime. In the process, they would conserve India's precious crop diversity. This is the story of a project that changed the lives of many South Indian farmers. Tradition has always been the lifeblood of Tamil Nadu. It is a great irony, though, that its farmers were struggling to find the very roots of their livelihood, the traditional rice crop. As much as the farmers needed help in reviving traditional agriculture, CIKS needed the farmers to bring back to life the many rice varieties that were so close to extinction. Beneath the fading sunsets in rural Tamil Nadu, an alliance was forged that would transform the way agriculture was practiced. To begin a project of such a magnitude, the farmers have to be brought together under a single roof. This is done through a series of discussions organized in various villages. All interested farmers are invited to attend them. The agenda is to promote organic rice cultivation. A field staff from CIKS explains the objectives of their organization and their interest in helping people who want to get back to traditional agriculture. He outlines the merits of traditional crops and the organic approach to cultivation. Most farmers are intrigued by all this. That's because they are only used to the loud advertisements for synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. These discussions about the way agriculture was practiced by their forefathers in the age of high-yielding hybrids never fails to arouse the curiosity of the farmers. The younger generation usually has no knowledge of organic agriculture. All this is new to them. The elders, however, have their memories rekindled. After a few weeks and many such meetings, the intricacies of the project are understood by the farmers. The meetings become more interactive, filled with intense question-answer sessions. The farmers begin to see the potential of such a venture. At this point, CIKS proposes that the farmers get together and set up a formal body that operates in an organized manner. This will be called the Organic Farmers Sangam. It would function independently, only monitored from the outside by CIKS. The Sangam would be structured on the lines of a democratic body. All decisions would be collective, but still overseen by a group of office bearers. These leaders would be selected through the process of an election. At least 30 members are required to form a Sangam. There are a few restrictions on who can become a member. Only one person is allowed per family. This is to ensure that the benefits of the project spread to as many families as possible. It is preferable that all members own some land, though this is not a must. If they didn't own land, they should at least have a kitchen garden. In essence, every member should be able to cultivate. How else could they practice organic agriculture? The Sangam members should also make a promise. They have to set aside a part of their land in which they only do organic cultivation. No matter what happens, this promise can never be broken. With the election of the leaders, the Sangam formation is complete. The office bearers have the task of building its foundation. The next few months would be a time of fervent activity. The Sangam's role is fundamental. There has to be a body that can implement the project beyond its assigned period. It becomes a flag bearer that will continue to empower the farmers. The excitement of being a part of the Sangam is visible as the farmers immerse themselves into its activities. CIKS, for its part, takes the initiative in empowering the Sangam. The first step is to train the farmers in organic agricultural methods. This is done through a series of training programs organized in their many training centers. The primary goal of the training program is to orient the farmers to the methods of organic farming and to give them first-hand experience in the various techniques. The orientation begins with lectures on the basic principles of organic farming. This is the first time the farmers are exposed to the organic approach. Their curiosity is apparent. Audio visuals are used as aids in the training program. This keeps the interest levels of farmers high, especially since classroom training is a long-forgotten experience for most of them. Topics such as pest control and soil enrichment are covered in detail. These courses are tailor-made to suit the conditions experienced by the farmers in their fields. This approach puts things in perspective and helps them relate to the subject. They are also briefed about the use of traditional crops in their kitchen garden and the many different plants used in traditional medicine. After the first level of orientation, the farmers are taken out for a hands-on session in preparing biopesticides and biofertilizers. They are first briefed about the different processes and the various methods of extract preparation. They are then split into small groups. Each group is assigned the task of making a particular preparation. Since they will have to present their work in front of the rest at the end of the workshop, the participants take on the assignment with great enthusiasm. This way of participatory learning keeps the interest levels high and also makes learning fun. As the participants go through the process, the CIKS staff monitor them, giving advice and directing them. This hands-on method is a great way of learning the nuances of making the preparations. After the preparations are done, a member from each of the groups comes forward to explain what they have done. The trainers carefully listen. If necessary, they will chip in with advice and corrections. The hands-on training completed, the farmers are taken around for a field visit. CIKS has been conserving numerous varieties of traditional rice in its experimental farm. This is one of the in situ conservation centers where the various varieties are grown and tested for their characteristics. Farmers prefer indigenous varieties for many reasons. Most indigenous varieties are resistant to pests. They are also less vulnerable to disease and are hardier. They require less inputs in the form of manure. Many varieties fulfill specific nutritional requirements and other dietary needs. A variety called Sembale, besides being pest and disease resistant, is also highly suitable for making puffed rice. Karunguruvai, another traditional variety, is used in the treatment of filariasis. There are nearly 200,000 such varieties available in India. These varieties are highly suitable for organic farming. The instructor explains the characteristics of the various varieties and conditions required to grow them. This is very crucial to the farmers because very soon they will have to choose the varieties to grow in their fields. This collection acts as a live museum through which farmers can learn about the many traditional varieties. Rare varieties are also conserved here. The visual impact of numerous traditional crops growing next to each other never fails to impress the farmers. Very often, it inspires the change from hybrids to traditional crops. After they return from their field visit, the farmers gather for a group discussion. This session is meant to act as a revision of what they have learnt during the training program. They also make decisions about the different varieties they have seen and what would best suit their needs. Besides training all the beneficiaries of the Sangam, CIKS grooms some of the members to be trainers. These people are selected by CIKS on the advice of the Sangam. 3 to 4 people from a village and a total of about 40 people are selected to be trainers. These people carry the responsibility of teaching what they have learnt to the rest of their colleagues. They are trained in different aspects of organic agriculture, ethno-veterinary practices, and traditional health. They are also given leadership training. At the time of the group discussion, a notebook is passed around to the farmers. This is where they have to enter the details of what varieties they want and how much quantity of it. This will be the record with which CIKS will plan the distribution of inputs. With the forthcoming cultivation season, CIKS has to get busy with distribution of inputs to the farmers. Seeds and organic manure are transported to the various Sangam villages. The seed varieties are determined by the list that was left behind by the farmers during the training program. Most farmers have difficulty in sourcing organic manure in the early stages. It is not something that can be easily bought off the shelf or available in abundance when needed. That's why it becomes important for CIKS to support them in the beginning. Inputs are distributed based on how much land the farmers wish to cultivate on organically. Meticulous records are maintained during distribution, and this is for a purpose. The deal with the farmers is that how much ever seeds they receive now has to be returned twofold at the end of the season. There are no financial transactions involved in this process. This deal has a dual benefit. First of all, at the end of the season, there is usually more than enough for the farmers to return, so they find it very easy to keep their word. More importantly, the seeds are being conserved in a most ingenious manner. Season after season, their numbers double, which can be given out to more farmers, thereby increasing the number of conservationists. The seeds are always kept fresh through cultivation. This increases their viability, unlike the seeds that lie in deep freezers of conventional seed banks. The biggest advantage of the traditional seeds is their retained viability season after season. The hybrids quickly lose their viability over a couple of seasons, which means that the farmers have to keep buying seeds every time they want to cultivate. With the contributions from CIKS, the farmers get a good start for the season. The first few years are challenging, but they are also filled with adventure as they discover many new things about this experimental venture. It is said that it takes at least 3 years for the soil to turn around in vitality from its exposure to synthetic chemicals. This is made aware to the farmers along with the message that organic cultivation does not produce magic. It is a long and tedious path, but one that will come a winner in the long run. As the cultivation season progresses, CIKS continues their support through the monitoring program. Field staff from CIKS visit the farmers in the field once every week, right through the cropping period. To the farmers, these representatives act as an experienced sounding board. The CIKS staff have a cordial relationship with the farmers, being their friend and philosopher. Their guidance is valued. Even though the farmers are well versed with the ways of organic farming after their training program, the knowledge is reinforced by discussions with the CIKS staff. Such field visits also serve another important purpose: to monitor and ensure that the farmers use only organic methods to cultivate their crop. It is all too easy to drift from the ideals when things go bad, especially in the early days of changeover. When it comes to pest control, the CIKS staff advises the farmer on specific problems. In spite of their training in pest management, they are sometimes reluctant to take action by themselves. They might also encounter problems that are too complex for their experience. The field staff also ensures that swift and timely action is taken. It is especially important for the biopesticides to be effective. Sometimes farmers do not have the resources to produce their own biopesticides or might need to act quickly to cull a pest attack. They cannot afford to waste time in making the preparation. In such cases, they are directed to the biopesticide units set up as a part of the project. These units manufacture and stock ready-made biopesticides, which can be bought off the shelf by farmers. Each biopesticide unit has a team of 4 Sangam members. 3 women and 1 male member are selected by the Sangam for taking care of the biopesticide unit. They are usually people with very small land holdings or with low incomes. This is a way of providing them job opportunities. They prepare growth promoters and biopesticides from neem and other plant-based products. These are packaged and kept ready for selling. The infrastructure for the biopesticide unit is provided by the project. The land for building the unit should, however, be provided by the Sangam members. The Sangam sometimes gives funds for the biopesticide units to start up. This is given as a loan from the revolving fund set up under this project. Through this revolving fund, farmers can also avail loans for other activities that support or enhance organic agriculture. The members working in the biopesticide unit are not only trained in making the preparations, but are also well versed in the procedures of using them. They often advise the farmers on concentrations and spraying methods. The biopesticide unit is meant to be self-sustaining. The income is used to purchase raw materials. The profits from the sale of products are shared by the 4 members. 90% of the profits go to them, and the remaining 10% is given to the Sangam. This money is used by the Sangam to maintain the biopesticide unit. The economic opportunity provided by the unit helps members with low incomes, especially women, to be a part of the change to organic agriculture. Over the years, CIK has realized that many of the indigenous vegetables were in greater danger of extinction than rice. This was also due to the influx of hybrid varieties. CIK has decided to integrate the vegetable conservation program with their objective of enhancing nutritional self-sufficiency in rural homes. This was done by mobilizing the women folk. Sangam members are encouraged to maintain their own kitchen gardens. In these, they can grow indigenous vegetables using organic inputs. As with the previous arrangement, CIKS provides the inputs for them to start up. At the end of the season, twice the quantity of seeds has to be returned. They are also provided with medicinal plant saplings to be cultivated in the kitchen garden. The training program equips them with the knowledge to treat common ailments using these medicinal plants. This helps reduce their medical expenses. Maintaining vegetable gardens is a family event. Hands and feet of all sizes participate in the process. Within a short while, most of the farmers realize that the kitchen gardens were big money savers. Most are able to save up to 400 rupees each month on buying vegetables. Some actually go on to making money out of it too by selling their excess produce. The kitchen garden concept has become an instant success. Many reap the benefits in a very short time. As the crop season progresses, the Sangam too develops into a well-organized body, running like a well-oiled machine. The Sangam has to compulsorily meet once every month. During such meetings, many issues are sorted out and the normal formalities are completed. CIKS provides the Sangam with some infrastructure during its formation, which is available to the members on rent. Implements like hand sprayers, high-volume sprayers, and tarpaulin sheets can be borrowed for a small sum of money. This is convenient for the farmers as they don't have to invest on implements which aren't used all the time. The revenue from these rentals goes into maintaining the implements and acquiring new materials. All Sangam members have to be a part of the saving scheme to which they have to contribute every month. The contribution per person is decided by the Sangam. It varies from Rs 25 to Rs 100. These savings become part of a revolving fund that comes in handy for many of the Sangam's needs. It is used for buying infrastructure or is given out as loans to members. The loans are for much lower interest than available in the market. It is also flexible to a certain extent, as they can specify the repayment schedules. This is really helpful to the members. The interest rates are fixed and have to be paid every month without fail. The Sangam meetings also become a stage for discussing various issues related to organic agriculture. Farmers discuss their experiences, help sort out problems, and share their knowledge with the rest of the members. The meetings are also used to iron out any problems that crop up during the functioning of the Sangam. Altogether, the Sangam meetings are cauldrons of positive activity that attract and bind the members together. The first harvest of the traditional crops is an unforgettable experience to all the Sangam members. The feeling of using hand-picked traditional seeds, natural manures, and biopesticides prepared with their own hands leave them with a feeling of great achievement. It inspires and motivates them to continue on with organic agriculture. When the time comes to honor their agreement with the project, all farmers are more than happy to return their share and double of it. To collect the returns of the harvest and store them before redistribution, CIKS has set up some centralized collection points called community seed banks. The infrastructure for establishing a community seed bank is provided by the project, and thereafter the Sangam maintains it. Most farmers do not have ideal storage areas where they can hold their harvest till they find a fair buyer. This means that they have to sell their produce as quickly as possible before it gets damaged. This desperate sale would often leave them with lower profit margins. However, the community seed banks have completely changed this situation. They can use the seed banks to store their grains till they find a buyer. The Sangam also plays a part in the marketing of the organically grown products. It extends its influence in the final stage of the agriculture cycle. Firstly, the Sangam does a quality check on the produce. Based on this, a price is fixed for the grains. This price is now written on stone and is non-negotiable. If buyers are happy with the quality of the grains, they can directly purchase it from farmers without having to go through the Sangam. This also eliminates dealers and middlemen who are so rampant in the market. The ability to sell their own products has given the farmers great confidence and a boost to their spirit. CIKS has taken marketing a step further and has set up a project called Arogyam. The processed and finished goods are packaged and sold in the open market directly. After a brief survey, CIKS found that there were quite a few people who liked traditional varieties, and especially those that were organically grown. To cater to these people, they started a network into which these people are enrolled. The members of this Arogyam scheme receive a regular supply of organic products. The products are reasonably priced, and for the first time, organic products have reached the middle class and have become non-elitist. This project has touched many rural lives within a few years of its commencement. More than 2,000 farmers are a part of the Sangam in about 4 districts of Tamil Nadu. The project has not only shown them the path to a better use of their resources, but has also given them healthier lives. Moreover, by being a part of the Sangam, farmers have become highly skilled organizers and managers. This confidence has empowered them to such an extent that it even surprises them. As the farmers of Tamil Nadu celebrate their harvest festival each year, they also celebrate the birth of a project that has conserved, healed, and empowered a whole generation of India's farmers.